Hmm. Hmm. I wonder if I'm in the right place. Do, do, do. Hmm. Oh. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Is anybody there? This is
I can
confusing.
hear you. Can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. Who else is on here?
Well, it's calling some people, but
Oh.
I just assumed it was going to start automatically. Oh, that looks
Oh,
like
there's
Hayden.
Hayden.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
hello.
Hello. Now, do I have to invite everybody? This is a pain in the butt. It's not hard, it's just typing.
You're terribly quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to change that.
I can hear him, but I have headphones in, so I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe it's me.
Oh,
What
Show participants. It's
Oh.
just us three. Okay.
Matt's leaving, apparently.
Can't we just invite others to the conversation?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Hmm.
Let's see. I'm just calling everybody. I thought it would just pop everything up, but apparently. Oh, Hayden looks like he's muted. He doesn't want us to hear what he's saying.
Okay, I fixed it. I can hear it now.
Okay. This is.
There's Jaden.
Oh,
Madison's texting me asking how'd I get on the call.
There should be a way to do it on the computer because I didn't get it on there.
well, yeah, it's a learning thing. I thought I just had to schedule it and it would pop up, but that could not be the case. Hello?
Oh,
I
okay,
didn't.
it's working.
Oh dear, where did I? Donna. 'Cause I really don't want to have to type everybody's name every time this starts.
Oh, there's Madison.
And I also don't want to invite the wrong people, which would be quite entertaining.
Oh, it'd be more funny.
Well, as long as it's not a district person, I'll have to do some checking once we get, well, more than 3 people. No response, no response.
Madison's muted.
Hello?
Kathleen's trying to get on.
Oh, yeah.
Who did I? Lily's there, I think. Hello?
Hello, I don't know how to work it, so.
Join the club. Learning by doing. Where did Hayden leave? This is
No,
difficult.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, it's just
Hayden's
switched.
there.
All
We're not
sorts of
supposed to have our
people.
we're not supposed to have our phases on here, are we?
Well, it's whatever picture
What
you
the
can
heck,
turn.
man?
Where did I stop Howard? Do. Yeah, what are the odds? Riley. Matt declined. But is anyone
Why
trying
can I
this?
barely hear you?
I don't know. Matt, are
Oh,
you
you
there?
have to, I had that problem. Click the speaker thing at the bottom, and it says device. You have to tap speaker, and then it'll sound better.
Oh,
Thanks.
Okay.
Where did I stop?
Oh.
Melissa.
oh, there we go.
Oh no.
Hey, McKay.
Hi, Matt.
What's up, buddy?
Matt. Oh my goodness.
Thanks, Hayden.
Okay.
I've got to find a better way to do this.
Yeah, this is
Then-
brutal.
Well, then inviting everyone all at once because this is not.
You should have
efficient at all.
you should have been able to just tap something and say invite like whole class.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen, but what are the odds Maggie is around?
Oh, 0.
Oh well, I gotta try. I'm almost through my list. I don't.
I can snap him.
No, that's all good. He's been invited. Some people. Oh, I don't want to invite Mrs. Smith to this call. Madison, Caitlin, Tiger.
Hmm.
What? Well, she doesn't need to hear this. Oh dear. Okay, can I mute your
That is
video?
crazy, man. This is like a crazy FaceTime call, man.
ERQ. All right, only got a couple more. Dale and Bailey.
What?
What?
Sorry, I was talking to Alex.
Oh dear.
Wait, can you go on the... Okay, let me try something.
All right, I think I've invited most everybody. Some people, I don't know if there's responses or anything. You guys can all see me. I'm down here in the bottom, at least on my screen. Have any of you used this with somebody else yet?
No.
No.
Yes, I used to
Nope.
Mr. Bellier.
Yeah, with
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Bellier.
Is Mr. Gauntz using this? Or is he too good for
Buddy,
the free
use
program?
Zoom.
What?
He's not
Probably
using it for.
not.
Use Zoom.
We're not allowed to use Zoom.
Hey, McKay.
Zoom is spyware.
Zoom
Hey,
is
I don't know what
unsecure.
Bioware is, man.
It's like spies on you and says it's the Chinese government or something.
Yeah, and this is secure, and you have to have your stuff with it. And what?
Whose
The
dog's that?
dog. The
Jeez.
dog.
It's not
Hey, Nautica, I'm going to get my dog.
I got all sorts of people that look like they're there. We got like I don't know how many people. How do I move that little picture? I want to move my face. Learning by doing. Making stuff up as we go. Turn camera off, whatever. I don't care about that. All you can see is the back of my living room. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't know. There's 16 or 17 people here, it looks like. Correct?
There's 17.
Because I see 9 plus.
It says there's 21 in this meeting.
Yeah. Well, I invited everybody. Eventually, I'll figure out how to.
Who's
Yeah.
Amarin 00148?
What? I don't know.
Amarin 00148.
It could be my guess. No, that's not Amy.
That's me, Amelia.
Oh, Amelia.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's all based on like the first however many letters. First 3 of both names. Oh, what's this?
Mr. McKay, you should give us a house tour.
No,
What's up, baby?
because I have 2 small children, so there are toys
Hey,
everywhere.
where are your kids, McKay?
What?
Can I see your kids?
One is asleep, and
Show
the
us
other
your
is.
Show us your kids.
Sweet.
Show us the kids.
Why would you say that, Matt? That's
Yeah, I
weird.
One is the little one is asleep,
Good.
and the other one is occupied by an iPad at the moment. All right. So I don't know how many people are here. All I hear is giggling. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that's Jade talking.
Hey, guys, be quiet. I'm asking a question.
Okay.
Okay.
McKay, I have to leave it. Can you invite me again?
What? Why?
Because I can't hear it on my phone. I'm trying to set it up on my
Oh.
computer.
Oh,
No, Jaden, click
Yeah.
click the little speaker icon at the bottom and tap device. Or no, tap speaker.
Yeah, that happened to me too, Jake.
Oh, speaker.
so Hayden is the guru.
Is McKay gone?
No, I'm still here.
Why can't we see your face?
Thank you, Hayden.
So many people in this one.
Yeah. it's gonna be
McKay's coming up
interesting.
as Jaden.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know why.
On my phone, your name's Jaden De Winter.
It's like the
That's
last
unfortunate.
speaker like shows up first. I'm not really sure why Jaden's taking his place now.
Oh, there's
I don't
Simon.
mean to.
It's probably
That's right.
20 some odd, 21
Is it
people.
better?
It's a little bit. Hey, I
This is
can mute you
brutal.
all. This would be awesome.
Hey, McKay.
Yeah, well,
I can mute you all.
Hey, Matt,
You people.
Matt.
there we go. Now you are all quiet for a second. I'm gonna unmute you. Well, what? This will what? Cancel. I thought. Oh. Now, how do I unmute? I guess you might have to unmute yourself. You can.
You have to unmute yourself.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Matt.
Matt. There, man.
Mr. McKay's on like 2 of my screens right now. We have Jaden as
Yeah, right?
McKay and then actual McKay.
Did you get to a level 155, man?
No,
I
yeah.
did. God
Season
damn.
3
Oh,
comes
really?
So you can talk
did
about
not.
levels on your own. Leave
I
those
spent.
alone for a little
I've
bit.
logged in like 3 days. in the
I don't
last
know.
2 weeks.
What the red dots and the green dots mean and all of that. Hello, how is everyone doing? Guys,
Great.
all
Oh, just fine. How
How
are
are
you?
bored out of your tree?
Wonderful.
I have to chase 2 children around, or had to, because my wife is still working and now I am. And most of our meetings, I'm going to probably try to schedule around when Kate naps, because that means there's only one person to bother me.
And where's that
Um,
one person?
Ben, he's playing on the iPad, so he's quiet for.
Buddy,
Wow.
just get him Modern Warfare.
To bother me. Get him Modern Warfare. Me and Matt will play with him.
No,
Yeah,
he's good
Yeah,
with
do it.
he's good with what he does.
He can make good money though.
Yeah, well, he's 4, so again, not something he's really used to do.
Man, those Fortnite people are only like 9, so you never know.
Yeah, well, we'll deal
That's
with
how
that
you
later.
gotta think.
So, this is an a ridiculously bizarre situation. It's not something that anyone's dealt with before. And if you're in pre-calc with me tomorrow, and other than the topics, it's kind of the same spiel. Oh, what just happened? Because I can apparently somehow share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's whack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna just turn that off for a second. So technically the way it's been explained to us is that if any of you want to sign up for Chemistry 12 next year, you're free to. However, based on what we finished, you would have a significantly more difficult time than normal. So my goal is to kind of do some stuff. I have notes that will go through some of the stuff. We're going to have to streamline things because I'm not going to be able to talk for an hour every day. I expect you guys to do a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't print anything. I was in at the school this morning, and we were explicitly told not to use printers. Not that I would have any way to get anything to you, so that wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. I think I've got now. I wonder, I want to do this. If you go to files, I think I've posted this here is, I put a copy of the periodic table because some of you may have left your periodic tables at school. That is my set of notes from chapter 8, which we'll see what's going on here. Oh, no, that's the textbook. So if you don't have your textbook, there's the textbook for chapter 8, because some of you probably didn't. I guess I've got 6 and 7 notes and some other stuff up there. One thing I've seen is some people use this class notebook, which your screen is similar to this, as far as I know. This puts stuff in OneNote, which is another Microsoft thing. And if you go to collaboration space and notes, well, there's a PDF file of the chapter 8 notes, which is the molecular bonding thing. I don't know how to open it, mind you. Double click. We can't.
Wait, how'd you do that?
If you go into the class notebook,
Yeah.
if this is a giant pain in the butt, then we'll just put stuff on files. But these are just PDF parts of like my notes. We were going to start chapter 8, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. There's a handful of things that we need to do. The other stuff we need to, like, I've got to basically go through all of the stuff that we have and figure out what can we get done that's going to help you with Chemistry 12 for those of you who are going to do it. So we need to worry about naming compounds, which I know is done a lot in grade 10, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've all done some sort of naming?
Yeah.
Okay. So like ionic compounds, molecular compounds, acids, and then there's a mixture. I've got, somewhere in here. Now, this is something I would normally give. There's 10 pages of things to name.
Oh.
Do I expect you to do all of it? And I mean, those last 2 pages there's 100 names and 100 formulas, and that's a big thing that I would do if we were in a classroom, but we're not. So it's going to have to do some of those. We need to talk about equations and balancing equations. I'm probably more going to be worried about balancing than types of reactions, because I think you've done some of that. We need to do stoichiometry, which is Or we've got to do moles in there too, which is a unit. We're going to have to look at a couple of things in there before we do stoichiometry, which is kind of the culmination of everything. So it's going to be learning for me. I'm sure you've noticed I'm recording this just in case somebody misses it. I don't know how I'm going to be able to post it, but we'll cross that bridge. If it ends up being something like YouTube, you can watch things at like a quicker speed, so you don't have to take the whole amount of time. I don't want to occupy 2 hours of your day because you guys have other things. I've heard stories already this morning about people already doing 4 and 5 hours of schoolwork, and they're in 2 of my classes, and we haven't done anything yet. So Mr. Gauntz and Mr. Bellier might need to bring it down a notch. But my understanding is your transcript will show for this semester. This is the one, there's no marks. Everyone's will say enrolled. You were enrolled in chemistry 11, and then you took chemistry 12 and whatever, if you did that. To earn a credit. Chemistry 12? I have no idea.
Wait, so how do we get the credit?
Well, yeah, that's the big question. So for each kind of section, I'm going to have to, I guess I'm going to share this again. What's going on? All right, everyone's got my desktop?
Yeah.
So under here, there's this thing, the assignments tab, which those are all my classes. So this is chemistry 11. So I posted this, and this is an assignment that I normally would give. How much of it you'll be able to do depends on what we get done, but I was just playing to see if how this is done. So there is a way, there's a teacher at St. John High who's posted some stuff to help teachers figure stuff in. So I see some of you viewed it. To turn it in, I don't know how what this guy does is with math classes, you do it on a piece of paper and take a picture and upload the picture. Some people sent him pictures of cats as well as their assignments. I don't like cats, so don't do that. So basically it's going to be, okay, did you attempt it? Have you tried some of the stuff that we need to do? Okay, check. Lily did the molecular structure assignment. Okay, she's looked at that. And I'm like, they're not going to say, okay, even if you did nothing, you're still going to be able to take chemistry 12. It's going to be tough. Even if it is Mrs. Parley, she has class sections of this course. So she's going to know that everyone isn't going to have the same background as they normally would. And things are going to have to be adjusted. But my goal is to make sure we know how to name stuff, because that's fundamentally important. We have to know how to calculate moles, which we're going to stick to moles and molar mass mainly. We need to know chapter 9 is naming, chapter 10 is calculations. We're going to omit some stuff. Chapter 11 is types of reactions. I want to make sure you can balance an equation. The types of equations are really not all that important. Chapter 12 is stoichiometry, which is a big fancy word for you start with 14 grams of a reactant, how much product, how much get out at the end. 15 and 16 are about solutions. 16 is calculating concentrations. So we're going to go through, I'm going to try to, I'm recording this, I don't know what format it is, but I also can, because I have that airliner, which is somewhere hidden. So when we go through chapter 8, I'm going to basically sit here when we start, which probably won't be till next week, unless you guys are really keen and want to start on Friday. And I would suggest I will post things ahead of time. if you've got an iPad or a tablet and can figure out how to download a PDF and actually write on it, you can do that. But we'll go through some of this. We're not going to do all of it. And there'll be some questions to work on. But if you can see this, if I was smart, I would have brought the other thing out. All right, calculate the number of blah, 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 do all of this. We'll do some examples, but it's like, I don't want to be on here for a ridiculous amount unless people have a whole pile of questions. And we're going to try to get as much stuff done as we can, considering the circumstances. I don't know when the end date is. They mentioned something about, well, because the odds that there's exams are probably between 0 and none. So are we going to finish doing content the last week of classes, or are we going to continue on to exam week? I have no idea. Everything just depends on how quick this whole situation lasts. There was something in the news yesterday that the city of Wuhan in China, that this all started with, apparently ended their lockdown the other day after 11 weeks. Well, we're on what, week 3-ish, 4-ish?
About 4.
4.
But it all depends, because we've done this social distancing thing, and New Brunswick is relatively well. I've seen like the week of the 20th is the quote unquote peak, how long we have to last after that, and what happens. From the minister's discussion, I don't think if we're allowed back in the school, it won't be for classes. Things will probably be delivered this way for a while, but it's going to be it's a learning thing. I don't want to burden everybody. If you can't make it, if you have to work, because I know some of you have been working at grocery stores or Walmart or places that are essential, and good for you. You need things. So if you're working at the superstore, you're making a little bit more money, or Sobeys or whatnot. So if you miss something, it will be recorded. The notes, I'll probably post those as well. Like, okay, here's the PDF of, this is what I've done. There's a recording, so you can go through. I'll probably do a day or 2 a week to just answer questions if you miss something and all of that. There's email, you can message through here. You guys are all fairly well connected. How do I get back to that? Okay, I'm just playing around. So does that seem reasonable?
How many times is this gonna happen a week?
Okay, well, one at a time. Matt, what did you say?
How many times is this gonna happen like a week? Like how many video chats?
What's the schedule?
Like when it's like a daily thing, or like a?
It'll probably. I would try to be on here like at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
That's not bad.
And I mean,
would you do it on weekends? Sorry for
would
cutting you
I
off.
do it, or would I?
Yeah, wait. Would you do it on weekends too?
If enough
since
of
it
you,
doesn't matter.
If enough of it's a lot of it's about you. I mean, weekends, my wife doesn't work, and like she's in a meeting right now too, but she's in a meeting with a whole bunch of other. It would be like me meeting with other teachers. I know you guys have different schedules, and if there was 10 or 12 of you that wanted to go over something on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon or whatever, I would try to. I mean, I can be flexible. So like if there's all sorts, email or posting questions in that stream, I think you guys can send messages just to me. The district and school would prefer if you sent stuff through your school email versus all these Gmail accounts, because if it's all through the school one, it's just easier to keep track of and all of that. But like, we're not going to get everything done. if you do most of the work, I'm going to probably say, okay, well, and I know most of you well enough because I think I've taught almost all of you, at least in 2 classes for a month and a half. Jeez, a month-ish. But even last semester, I mean, I know your work ethic. I know what you guys would have been able to do. I think just about everybody is capable of doing all of this. It's just we need to try to get some stuff done. I don't want you to spend, I mean, they don't want you to spend more than 3 hours a week. Like, or was it 3 hours a day or a week? It's got to be a day.
Okay.
Emma Howard says, "Can you add her back?"
What?
She
Maybe.
asked me to tell you to
I
add her
thought it
back.
was an hour and a half to 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Max
So-
3 hours.
I thought it was like 3 hours a day. Yeah.
So that was when he said that, like, because I probably watched the exact same press conference that you guys did. Like an hour a day is what they were expecting, like early elementary school. But you guys are not early elementary school. But so you guys, as high school students in 11 and 12 in credit courses, are going to need to do a little bit more. But like I showed, I'm going to reshare this again. When we do naming, like I have this crazy thing that I'm going to open up again. Did I share my screen yet? Oh, no, sorry. This is a giant pain in the butt. Like this is, like, I don't know. I've never actually counted. I know the last, well, that one there, practice number 7 is 50 things. Practice number 8 is 50 things. Practice 9 and 10, or well, they're not 9 and 10, but those two, do I expect you to do everything there?
Really?
No, like, it's not reasonable for me to say you have to do the same amount of stuff that you would have. And the last 2 pages were always optional. I did that last year. So you're not going to have to do all of that stuff. I might say do the left side of this page or do the first 10 or something like that. You might it's not going to, I'm not going to, because I know you have 4 other classes. And I mean, I have half of you or more in math, and that's the one I'm most worried about because I've taught chemistry before. I know where I need to get you. The 12A, I know how to do the math, but what's important, where do I need to go? I'm going to probably have to find Mrs. Legier somewhere. I've seen her online. Oh, yes. She's been on here somewhere. This is our communication thing. And I have some ideas what we're going to have to do in there, but some of you poor suckers are going to have to listen to me for like an hour or a bit more a day. I'm sorry.
Why?
Well, we have to normally, so.
Oh yeah, I know.
No, not like that, but like, I thought you said
What?
Well, if I do half an hour a few times a week in chemistry and a half an hour a few times a week in math.
Okay, I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, that's
keep on
better.
going.
Oh yeah, like it's gonna. When I say that, it's over the 2 classes. So this is the easiest for me. I'm lucky that I have that airliner that I can write and like I can use all the stuff that I've got. I don't have to like do it on a piece of paper and then hold a piece of paper up and say, okay, everybody copy this down, because you can actually follow along and go through what I do. But if this doesn't work, we'll try something else. Is that all right? Does anyone have any serious concerns about this?
No, I think it's all right.
That's good.
No, yeah.
Wait, what? I zoned out for a second. I zoned out for a second. I was looking at Teams.
Well, and I mean, this will be a learning thing for me. I'm going to have to figure out how to, I don't want to have to type 28 names. Oh, that was that Matt's, that was the top of Matt's head for a second.
Yeah, I didn't even tap that.
now.
What is that
Win.
sound?
What the freak is that sound again?
Who has a kettle on?
Somebody has a kettle on. I don't. Like,
Shit,
we
I
have a
thought that was
coffee.
me. Oh, frick.
That's
Oh,
my mom.
Your tea's ready.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all good. It could be worse. We fed a dog. At some point in time, we're gonna have one or both of my kids interrupting us. Ben
That's sick, man. Let me
Ben
see
loves to interrupt and say hi and wave, but he's occupied now. You guys won't get to see the tantrum when we take the iPad away from him, but that's always
Oh.
super fun because that's the best thing you can do with a 4-year-old. Okay, so are there any other questions?
I have a question about the assignment.
Okay.
Is that stuff that like we've already learned, or
No.
is where do we have to go to read the stuff to do it?
That stuff is in chapter 8. I put it up
Are you
there
gonna
with
teach
it.
it to us?
Yes, we're gonna go over some of that stuff. I really just put that up to see how to put it up.
Okay.
I'm
right now. As of right now.
yeah. It's not something that, unfortunately, it's not something that you can do right away. Some of the
No, I
stuff
don't
like
want a sandwich, man.
be thankful your mother still makes you sandwiches, Matt.
Yeah, Matt, be
I'm
nice.
trying to
Mom
freaking
doesn't make
feed me
my
right now,
lunch.
man. I'm winning all I got.
So figure out how to move that little video. I want to put that someplace else, but that's. Oh, what's that? Somebody's door opening? Video. So is there any other questions before I let you go and you guys can, I don't know, do whatever
So
you want to do?
I need
So what's the next
clarification.
one?
Okay. I think that was Lily asking for clarification, or Caitlin?
Oh, that was Caitlin.
Oh, sorry.
So for chapter 8, you said you're gonna teach it to us, or were we supposed to do that like packet that said covalent? How do I even say that?
Covalent?
Yeah, bonding.
I put that up the very beginning when we didn't have any idea what was going on, how long anything was going to be. If you've taken a look through that, it's going to make it a little bit easier. But probably starting next week, I will schedule some meetings. It seems that we've got most people this afternoon. I don't know. I think I saw 21 somewhere. How many people? 20. I think that includes me. The afternoons might be the best. I don't know. I see a whole bunch of people are muted, so they're probably cursing and swearing. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, maybe because I've been. Now I wonder. If you
When's
get
the-
random.
when-
What?
When's the next one?
Do we want to start something on Friday?
On Friday?
Yeah, let's do Friday.
May as well get started.
Friday.
Yeah.
Might as well.
All right.
What time?
So,
Kind of
2
sick
o'clock
sitting
at
at
time?
home all the time.
oh, I can only imagine. You guys don't have to chase toddlers around. Well, hopefully.
Let's do it 6 a.m.
Let's do it 1 at night.
6 a.m., Matt? I swear.
I'm up at 6, but I'm not teaching at 6.
The kids won't be up at 1.
Guys, they're usually pretty good. What am I looking for? Teams. I just want to
Okay,
see.
so we gotta figure out like a good time every
Like,
day.
Why don't we do it how we did it today?
Is
Yeah.
because I know
Do
some
that
of
too.
is, and I mean, Kate normally naps at like 9:30 and 1:30, so
Don't
she's
do it in the morning.
All right,
Don't.
2
Don't
o'clock.
do it in the
2
morning.
o'clock.
Yeah, I can get
Maybe
up
we
at
should get it in the morning.
Anytime
It's
after
nice.
12 works.
I say
A
12
nice,
o'clock. I say no, not
routine.
12.
Two?
One
because
Two.
we have biology. One.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
So
I
do it
say
too.
10.
Is
10.
Do
Delia,
it 2, yeah.
I say 2.
so
No!
Okay.
No, don't do it
Mr.
at 10.
Jax is saying he wants to do calls.
Just mute
Art?
us all.
okay, Jackson said something that I didn't catch. So Jackson, what was that?
I'm trying to find in chat. He said he wanted to do calls at a certain time.
Who is this, Bellier?
Mr. Gauntz.
Okay. And I can message him and see. For English, or do you guys have meetings like this? For
No.
English?
No, not so
like
far.
everything
He
and like
just gave us a whole bunch of stuff to do, and
he
then
like posts
just
them.
the
and we
whole
talk.
yeah.
Read and answer questions. Read and answer questions.
Yeah.
And
It's
no daily rights on how you're dealing with this thing that's happening.
Yeah, it's like
You have
it's
to
like a
do daily
journal.
rights.
It's like
And then we have to
Wait,
read a book.
what are we supposed to do for
And then we have to
this?
talk
reading
about
logs or
something
something.
interesting and do a presentation on it.
Presentation. Oh dear, that sounds
Oh
like.
my god, that's
It's actually quite a lot.
Oh, I.
Yeah,
I-
it is.
It is.
I can
It
imagine.
is like they expect us
We
to
have a
go.
lot for French too.
Yeah, I don't understand.
oh
that.
yeah, French is crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, French
Yeah,
is
man.
cracked. We gotta read a whole freaking
She's got us like on the
dictionary,
show, on the
basically.
I didn't
book.
read any of that. We had to
Well.
read a play script as a book.
Oh yeah, I actually did not read any of that.
All right, so 2:00 every Friday.
Well, 2:00 Friday is when we'll start. I'm
Yeah, I'm good with 2.
gonna
Yeah,
try to
Tuesday.
find.
I'm fine with
Math
that.
is gonna probably have to
I'll
be
check schedule.
in the morning.
Wait, when does
Oh yeah, what are you doing, Ryan?
Here's a
I
joke.
don't know.
I think,
I don't
yeah,
know,
I
man.
just uploaded in the files section as well, the chapter 8 notes. So you can download and take a look at those. A lot of chapter 8 is just going to be talking, and there's only so much we're going to be able to do. I'd like to get through, there's all sorts of junk in there. We'll talk about it, we'll do what we can, and go from there. It's just so are we all cool with I'll schedule a meeting for the same time on Friday? It might be a little bit later. I've got to check
Mr.
with.
McKay, how do you find the tan angle if you have the X and Y? Do you divide the
Talk
Y
about
over X?
tomorrow.
What? Do tan
Jackson, talk about math tomorrow.
I have no clue what to do with physics, and he gave me a bunch of questions.
Tan of an angle is Y
Oh,
over
I know how
X.
to do that. Jackson
Divide
sent me
the
it
two
on
and
Snapchat.
take the inverse tan. Where am I here now? How do I get back here?
All right, I'm snapping you, man.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm
Can we
trying to figure out how to get
Do you have
back to.
Snapchat, McKay?
leave like the
Oh, I
thing
don't
with
have
Silco and stuff?
Oh, see,
This is how you can get a hold of me. I'm trying to figure out how to get back
Do you play
to.
Warzone, McKay?
I did. Yeah, man.
I say
Actually,
we
though.
We should just
dedicate
do a
one
big
class to a game of
party chat
Warzone
in
with
Warzone.
McKay.
I don't know
There
what
there
that
is party chat. We could talk to each other.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
It's
Just
COD,
I
man.
just switched something, so I'm trying to figure out how to get
Freak, it's
things.
hot in here.
I
Open a
didn't
window.
get notifications. I had to go on the app and then see it in your thing that you were doing it. I didn't it didn't pop up or nothing.
You might have to turn notifications on.
That could work too.
No.
Yeah, just go in your settings. I think it.
How do I get back to here? I just have a little tiny window that has, I don't know. We'll play around. We'll figure this out. We'll get some stuff done. If there is no other questions, I'll let you guys all go.
Snapchat.
What?
All right, so
Nothing-
Friday.
Nothing late.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll schedule one for
Friday at 2. Hello?
I think he left.
I'm
Somebody
pushing.
left. It's only
Hey, McKay's
oh,
dip?
no, he's here.
I'm here. I can.
There he is.
Hayden!
Yeah.
What's
Hi.
up, buddy?
Hi, good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, buddy.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, there we go. Oh, what? Son of a- So if everybody's good for now, is there any other questions before someone can finish their
I got
bowl of
one
cereal?
question.
Who's got one question?
Me.
Shoot,
How are you doing with all this stuff, okay?
it's exhausting. Dealing with you guys every day is a lot
What do
easier.
you think?
dealing with you all in a classroom is way easier than chasing a toddler and a 1-year-old around because they don't stop. And
Word, man.
there's a
I
mess.
know all about that.
What?
I know all about that.
You've got a toddler?
Chase around, man.
Yeah, man. Little kids.
Chase around
Matt
his
chases
dog.
around kids. They're not his. When
Matt's
he's
a
chasing them,
pedophile.
they run from him. They run away.
So I'm
So we all
gonna
know how Matt's spending his quarantine.
yeah. I'm gonna try to find an easier way to invite everybody, because that's a pain in the butt. I don't know if copy join info. I might be able to just post something in that chat stream, but I'm gonna let everybody go now. So because it's been like 40 minutes, give or
Alright,
take.
peace out.
So
Bye.
we'll see some of you tomorrow morning and everybody here, or as many of you as we can
Friday, too.
on
Wait,
Friday.
What time are we doing the call tomorrow morning?
I think I set it for 10.
Oh,
That one's going to be a little bit more chaotic because they combined the two classes.
So what are we doing in it? Like, is it
Well-
important?
Well,
I need to be in that too, okay?
tomorrow is for pre-calc.
Pre-calc,
Oh,
like,
thank God.
Well, then.
Okay.
pre-calc,
So if you're
eh?
not in pre-calc, then tomorrow you won't see me.
Pre-calc, eh?
Yeah.
Wait, who did they combine?
So I had 2 sections of pre-calc 12A. I had one period 1 and period 5.
Oh, when you combine them, that's gonna
And
be
they put,
chaotic.
because there's no real need for 2 sections.
That's a psychopathic trait.
Sure. So they just put everybody in one to make it easier to communicate. So
Alright, can we leave?
yeah, sure.
Okay, bye.
Unless
Alright,
there's anything
Jibby.
else.
Bye, McKay.
Have a good
Thank you,
afternoon.
MK.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.